Good afternoon. My name is Tristen Gosson, and I'm very excited to be here with a special guest, Manny Bagaco. Thank you very much for being here. We're very happy that you chose to be a part of this exciting project.
My pleasure. My honor too.
What branch of the military were you in?
Army.
Army. Why did you choose that branch?
I chose it because I needed help to afford college, and it in turn gave me that accessibility to do that.
What year did you serve?
From 1981 to 1996.
Where did you serve?
Where?
Yeah.
All over the country. I did my basic training at Fort Dix. Went to a bunch of different schools. When I got stationed in the National Guard in New Bedford. Eventually worked my way up to be the executive officer of Headquarters Battery, the 1st to 11th Field Artillery.
What was your job in the military?
I had a few different jobs. One of them was I worked with the 10th Special Forces, which is the Green Berets, at Fort Devens. They have a simulator there that you get to practice different scenarios in relationship to field artillery. I was what they call a FIST officer, which is a forward observer. So my job is to basically overlook the field where they have in combat and call in bombardments to try to get rid of the enemy.
Were you drafted or did you join voluntarily?
I volunteered.
How did you tell your family and friends that you were joining the military?
There was concern, but my dad, because I wasn't born in this country, and I was born in the Azores, and my dad did his obligation at 18. Everyone that is 18 serves in the Army, so he knows what it is to serve. My mom was pretty upset initially, but she knew that we needed the financial help to get me through college, and it was a good plan.
What do you remember about the day you went to boot camp?
Just the way different people reacted to the drill sergeants just screaming at you.
What was boot camp like?
I went there with a mindset that it was more of like going to the gym, and if you screwed up, you just worked out a little harder and a little longer. But because the whole idea is that they try to put you in a position that they want to induce stress because they want to see how you're going to handle it. So just following orders and make sure you're doing them correctly and to that effect.
Can you tell me a memorable experience during your service?
Probably I was stationed at Fort Drum, and I remember I was the junior officer. I went to a state military academy, and I got commissioned as a second lieutenant. And I was the OD, or the officer of the day, and getting a phone call from the mounted police from Canada saying that they had detained a couple of my soldiers and I should go get them before something happened. So we went into Canada, picked them up, and brought them back.
What was the most challenging part of your time in the military?
I think initially was just all the physical activity and just having the endurance to keep going.
What are you most proud of from your time in the military?
The fact that I served my country, the fact that I wasn't born here. I've always had a sense of wanting to give back because the military afforded me my education.
Can you tell me about a funny moment from your time in the military?
We actually happened during boot camp. Guy went into the latrine, brought his M16 with him, and when he got up from the latrine, it accidentally fell in. So he had to go in and dig his M16 out of a pile of poop. It didn't go well, but it was kind of funny after the fact.
How did you imagine military life before you joined?
I thought it was going to be regimented. I worried about not being able to perform the duties that I was going to be assigned. But when I look back on it, it was a learning experience. I really enjoyed it. There's a lot of camaraderie. It's a brotherhood. When they turn around and say there is no white, no black, no red, everyone's green. It truly is that.
How did your perception change after serving?
Just in the fact that it was enjoyable. I mean, I really enjoyed what I did. There were bad days, there were good days, but overall, I really enjoyed serving my country. I'm very proud of the fact that I did.
What are some of the things that you remember about adapting to military life?
Just the lack of sleep, especially like when you're going through different schools and stuff like that. It's, they want to, get you sleep deprived, and because you don't function, at 100%. So a lot of times, if you had a day off, some guys would just sleep the entire day to try to get back some of the sleep they lost. Just the sleep deprivation. But overall, it was really enjoyable.
Was there anything you especially missed about civilian life?
Kind of like the freedom just to come and go as you please. Because back then, you had, if you were assigned to barracks or something like that, you had to stick around. Sometimes you might have time off, but you can't leave the post, whether it be because you don't have a car or, some posts, they're kind of like they're in the middle of nowhere. So it's, you need to be taking a bus, to get into town. That kind of, that just the accessibility of, to get somewhere, sometimes it's difficult. But it gets better as you get older and you get more privileges, your housing changes also. So you're no longer in a barracks that holds a couple of hundred guys. Maybe you're off post, or even in where you're sitting with a bunch of NCOs, which is non-commissioned officers, and it gets a little more like a house and not a hotel, so to speak.
How did your service shape you as a person?
I don't think it really changed me that much, because I was, prior to getting involved in the service, I was involved in Scouts, and that helped me with my military career because of just what's expected out of you when you get involved with Scouts. And it really, I guess the only thing that I can say that I'm really proud of the fact that I served my country. That's something that I can, unequivocally say I'm very proud of.
Did your military service lead to the work you did after you left the military?
It didn't lead to it necessarily, because after I got off active duty and got out of the Guard, I was a manager for Shaw Supermarkets. So I wasn't necessarily, shooting cannons, so to speak. But the leadership and the managing of people and the logistics behind it helped me in my career in that sense.
Do you have any advice for someone that's considering to join the military?
I think it's a great place to, get a base. There's a lot of opportunities out there. I have friends of mine that went into the service just to get a trade, so to speak. I have a friend of mine who was a plumber who joined the Navy, and was stationed on an aircraft carrier, and he worked as a plumber, while he was in the Navy, but he got his trade and came back. He owns his own business, so yeah, it can definitely help you earn a living, get a trade. Definitely could help you with your further education, because schooling is expensive.
Is there someone that you served with that you remember fondly?
Yeah, I still keep in touch with a lot of guys that I served with, and I think that sense of belonging and camaraderie has been instilled in the American Legion that I belong to here in town. It's you have that common bond. Everyone's been there. Everyone's served together, so there is that sense of brotherhood. There's a lot of joking around. About if you're in the Navy, it's like everybody calls the Navy like the water taxi for the Marine Corps. It's just there's a lot of sibling rivalry in between branches. So it's the Marine Corps, Uncle Sam's Misguided Children. USMC. There's just a lot of funny parts I couldn't pass the Marine Corps physicals because I couldn't get my head in a jar, stuff like that.
Well, thank you for participating in this project, and thank you for serving our nation.
It was my honor. Thank you. Nice job. Pleasure.
Pleasure.